What are the expectations of a potential employer? Can you imagine what he would expect from you? Hi guys, so thanks for stopping by tonight. The things I'm going to share with you are not necessarily just in Germany, but I think they are things that are going to help you wherever you find yourself. Let's get practical a bit here. What are the important things that you would normally consider? You've moved from your home country to another country, and you may not be familiar with the lifestyle, the culture, the tradition, the people, the behavior, the market situation over there. I think in this preparatory stage, those are the first things that you need to begin to work on. How well do you understand the labor market in that country? What are the expectations of a potential employer? Can you imagine what he would expect from you? And the reason I'm putting emphasis on this preparatory stage is because I think it's something people overlook most times. If you don't prepare thoroughly, I can imagine that you won't get any response, trust me, from the beginning until you begin to really, really get practical. And by being practical, I mean being sure of what you're applying for, how you take to apply to the job, get your cover letter or your CV to at least be reviewed, and then you can already have some natural expectations. The best part would be if you're still studying now or you're about to study, that you already begin to make these plans. When you take enough time to make all this initial preparation, it will also help you to understand the job description. Now, the truth is this: in most cases, what you can imagine, you see a job offer, you see the job description, you have, the technical expertise, you have the knowledge and everything. You get onto the job. Maybe like 50% of what you see in the job description are actually what you're going to do. The other 50% are completely not random things per se, or things that were not actually in the job description. That's actually where you prove your expertise. So to say, like, how diversified are you, or how versatile are you? But then if you're someone who wouldn't take the time to prepare yourself well in advance, then you just have a few things in your mind and you're hoping that these are the things that you will deliver. And then you will be surprised when you finally end up in the place where you can work. You may not be so useful. Why? Because when you're asked about something a little bit outside your field, you cannot deliver. And then if you succeed and pass that stage and get to the interview, and then you're there talking with the people, if it's not really something that is coming from you, like that you've really taken the time to think about and that you're well prepared for, you won't be able to relate with the people and discuss. What you would find out is if you apply to things that are really not just within your field of study, but also things that you've learned over time and you've had one or two, practical cases or applications. When you sit down with your potential employers or your interviewers, you would it's actually going to be more of a discussion than an interview. I'll give you a practical example of myself. Towards the end of my studies, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure if I was going to go for a PhD, if I wanted to have my own business, or if I was going to work in a company. Or better still, if I wanted to have another master's. I just wasn't sure, and then I ended up doing some online stuff. Some of you may have seen that. So it took me a while anyway before I could really, really get into the right mindset. At the end of the day, what I discovered was when I started focusing on the things that I really wanted to do, first understanding my personality and the things that I have passion for, and the things that if you would wake me up any time, I can easily deliver. It was a lot easier for me because you also have to think about the fact that no employer wants to take you in because they like you and they just want to give you money. No, they have a problem in their company and you are bringing a solution to that problem. And that's typically the scenario. So it's a question of, hey, Mike, we have this and that and that. How would you help us out to solve it? That's just an example. You know, the question of money and all those things that come much later. The first thing they want to know is can he or she solve a problem? What difference is he or she going to make when she joins the team? Because you want to sell something to them. You want to sell yourself, or rather your skills to them, and they will buy and pay you for it. There are really, really many things to consider, really, really many things. And these are not things that you can just go through overnight, read one book, and then you're done. No. And that's why I feel like it's more of, psychological preparation in the very first place, so that your mind, your energy, your brain, everything is really channeled in that direction. And it just really, really, I don't know, multiplies all the potential is in you and everything is really channeled to that direction, then you can sit and then discuss both from your conscious environment and also from your subconscious, because you've really been taking the time to think about these things and your mind is already kind of structured in a way that it's a lot easier for your brain to help you out. But then above all, you should write down everything. No, write them down. Why? Because right now you're in the mood, you're watching, you're listening, and you feel like, oh, you know everything, you understand everything. But then you may lose focus tomorrow. But if you get practical with yourself and write down those things, then if you lose focus, you can always come back to those things that you've written and then see them again. So I really would recommend have a project, I don't know, timeline or something like that, what you want to do from what time to what time to what time. Thank you once more for your time this evening. I hope I could say one or two things that are useful to you and that will be helpful. And if you have any questions anytime, feel free to reach out to me.